Hey guys, welcome to another Routemaster stream. Hey Eric, welcome. Hey Dave, welcome. So last week I was trying to figure out, I talked about it a little bit on the stream, trying to figure out figures for the bus. Talked to my wife, and they're not exactly the right height, but I think Goofy is perfect for a conductor at the back of the stream. Evening, Peter. Evening, Tom. And Eric just rage quit the stream, by the way. But yeah,
Goofy. What are you talking about? He loves Goofy.
I know he does. Actually, I have a screenshot of a Discord comment where he actually said he does. But yeah, I've got several of them. Most of them are still in the plastic. But like, Mickey's a train conductor. Not sure where he's going to end up, but Goofy has a. Well, we were talking about this. He's almost perfect for a driver. If I take the jackhammer out and cut the base off. And then another Mickey. Scrooge McDuck. I don't think I have one of those. So let me go ahead and switch screens. And this is where we left off last week after doing a bunch of wires. Did this right before doing all the wiring. I've got the next roughly 8 stages sitting next to me. Don't think I'm going to get that far. Let's see. People just saying hi. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to get that far, but about 4 stages from now, I have to actually start pulling wires from the Routemaster because they're going to reconfigure where they're at. Do the 3D print of Scrooge?
That's Scrooge McDuck, yeah.
I was telling Todd before we started, it's going to be a busy couple of weeks here. My daughter's coming down from Milwaukee right now with her youngest son, her baby. They're going to be here for 3 or 4 days. Then she's going back up there, taking Jordan, my grandson that lives with me, back up there. And then my son, who lives in Alaska, is coming next week. So PAX 73 is just this frame. It is the rest of the frame for the roof of level 1, the floor of level 2. The picture does show them turning it all the way over. I'm not going to. I'm going to just set it on its side. Good time, hectic fun. Absolutely. And actually, this is the first year that Christmas, other than people, if people weren't coming by, it would be our first Christmas ever, my wife and I, with just the 2 of us. Kind of different.
Doesn't sound so bad, though.
No. Trust me, we are both looking forward to the day when there's just the 2 of us here. Then we'll find out that we actually hate each other and we don't know how we stayed together for no. HBO original. Oh, wow. They made the game into a TV series. That should be really awesome. "20 Years of Christmas by Yourself." Is that by choice, Tom, or is it just everybody moved on and left you behind? Hopefully it's by choice. Eric says Last of Us looks amazing.
Did he play both of them?
Pardon?
Did he play both those games?
I don't know if he did. I know my son did. and my wife watched.
I think I played the first one. I don't remember. I didn't get them.
So first
Tom
thing,
says his mother died 30 years ago, his father 20 years ago, and the sister left 31 years ago. That's wow.
Oh wow, that's rough, man. So got oil. I got oil on top of the oil. On those of you that have been following along on the weekend streams, the Lisbon tram is almost done. I've just got a few things to put still on top of it, and then I'll start working on the diorama for it. So let me put some oil in these screws, and I'm going to get the back ones in first.
I'm looking forward to the diorama. We don't have a lot of people building like buildings.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to it too. This is actually going to be the first, and I was going to say first diorama I've ever made, but it will be the second one because last year I made a diorama with an F-16.
Should be
which
good
the
times.
really cool part. The cool part of that F-16 was the tail number on it was from Spangdahlem, where I spent several years of my career in the Air Force. And the F-16 tail number was one that I worked on.
Oh, nice.
So and what I did for the diorama was I bought the ground equipment to go with it. And I set it up as if they were launching the airplane with the ground equipment pulled off to the side.
Eric's got to take off. He said he posted the trailer in Discord. He's got to run. His boys in the school Christmas play. Well, have fun, Eric. Tell him good luck. Break a leg.
Yes. Tell Eli that we wish we could see him. Of course, knowing Eric, he might live stream it.
Well, you know what's interesting is like when I was doing the flying on Microsoft Flight Simulator on those Saturday streams, the tail number of the plane is my initials and my sister's birthday.
Is your what?
It's my sister's birthday and my initials. That's the tail number.
That's funny.
Gilly's here. He says, bye, Eric. Hi, Gilly.
Hey, Gilly. So this is not working out as easily as I expected. Should have started with the front instead, I think. He'll take pics. That's awesome.
Bucky. It's interesting. Interesting.
He's been calling me Bucky since we first met.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's cute.
I think he might think I'm the Winter Soldier or something.
Do you have a metal arm?
Pardon?
Do you have a metal arm?
Nope.
Oh.
Not that I know of. As far as I know, in HTM, only Eric is partially made of metal. I'm going back and tightening all these screws. Actually, I don't remember if it was Dave. I think it was Dave working on the blue bus. So I saw him putting this in over the weekend, and he said that it firmed it up really nice.
Gilly says it's always been Bucky. Why does he say that?
I don't know.
I like Darth Buckman. You need to bring that back.
I could. That was a identity I had on a different channel, but I could bring it back. That wouldn't be any big deal.
He says, I called Mark first time. He said, call me Buck, so it became Bucky.
I see.
We have a lot of Marks. So Buck is good.
Yeah. Well, and because of my last name, that was my call sign throughout my career in the Air Force was either Buck or Buckman. Or sometimes Buckmeister.
Buck. I might call you that.
What? Bucky or Buckmeister?
Buckmeister. The Buckinator.
Yes. I actually, on a lot of my online games, Buck is taken already. You know, sometimes when I play an online game, so I use Buckmeister. And that actually is a holdover from when I was stationed in Germany, because Meister, if you didn't know, is German for master. And everybody over there, their nickname ended up with a Meister on the end of it.
Gilly says his online dates. Is that what you use it for? Your dating profile says Buckmeister on it?
Nope, that's not me. That's probably Gilly pretending he's me. Okay. So this did firm up. Let me see. Good. My biggest concern was breaking these pins off, and I did not break any of them off.
So is the reason all those seats look wonky is because they're not attached to the side of the bus yet?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're very wobbly at this point. But what's funny is the Revell model does the exact same thing.
Gordon's here. Hi, Gordon.
Welcome, Gordon. Saw Gordon earlier on, what was it, White Glove Models.
Yes, I dropped into Kaylin's stream too.
Yep. I left after a certain person showed up. Although I didn't have to, because he has me blocked on YouTube. I couldn't see anything he said. But I was like, nah, I'm out of here. So it's issue 74 we've got. 74G is the front wall. 74H is the front window frame. Double check, there's no parts left in here, because I almost didn't see that piece right there as I was pulling those out. This is the rear wall, and it's going to be where the stairs go down. Got some handrails, some AP and JP screws. I think that might be the last, these might be the last metal screws for tonight. I don't know if you noticed, Todd, but the shop is clean.
Is this what clean looks like?
It is. I mean, it's not 100%, but it's tidied up to where it's livable. It was getting a little bit messy over the weekend.
I did a bunch of cleaning yesterday myself when I was trying to find the advent calendar, and I cleaned out the lab a lot. So there's lots of room in there now. Finally moved the DeLorean and the 300SL out to the main cabinets because I try to keep the cabinet that's in the lab for in progress models. Well, there's so many in progress because EM took a dump.
Yeah.
I needed more space, so we rearranged some things. Francisco helped come over, and we rearranged some stuff, and it's good.
Okay, so this is the rear wall. This handrail. Looking at the picture, okay, it goes like this. This handrail goes in here like this. You got the flanges there, match up with the corners here. It just push, and it's a push fit. Have not yet found anything that they say is push fit that I've needed to super glue. But I've got super glue standing by just in case. It's like the third time I've dropped that.
Gilly says Cisco did all the cleaning. That's not true. He helped move some stuff around, but he did find my advent calendar. That's good. He's like, could it be in the closet? I'm like, I never opened the closet. Why would it be in the closet? It was in the closet.
It's like I said on Discord. He hid it so that he could get one too.
Yeah. Well, now I have another one coming, so now I got to find a home for it.
I should send you a certain address. I have a box going to that address tomorrow. And shh, don't tell anybody, Todd. You know what's in the box.
I do?
Mm-hmm.
It's top secret.
You may have forgotten. We talked about it a while ago.
Yes, I have forgotten. I have a good guess where it's going.
Oh, yeah. I'll say it right out. It's going to Eric. But this time, unlike most times when I send something to Eric, it's only for him. But I think his entire family will get a kick out of it. Just trimming off a little bit of flash on this piece. Because the shape's hole for it wasn't going to fit all the way down with the flash on it.
Gilly thinks it's going to him, but we don't ship anything to Canada.
No. It's too expensive to ship to Canada. Everything is at least $20.
I mean, it's probably cheaper to drive to the border and throw it over the fence.
Yeah. Okay, so this one, this little piece here goes into this notch right here. I'm going to leave that out for right now. Otherwise, I'm going to lose it. And it's got wrong way. So it's got a couple of. That's not focusing. Come on. We'll go back.
Focused right there at the last minute.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it focused a lot quicker here. It's got a couple of slots there and a pinhole at the bottom. So this can go down in there. And let me double check the opening on the back of this part. Love that camera when it works. The opening here goes to the back. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. There is no pinhole down there. There's just the two slots. Pin goes on top. Just like that. And so this one is a hole right there for it to go into that pin, and a pin to go into the end of this one. That one might need glue eventually. I'll just have to wait and see. This last one here has it's not so much of a pin as a block-shaped pin. that fits into the bottom of this one and the pin there. And there's a hole on this side that the next piece of railing is going to plug into. How far down does that have to go? It does not show. I think it's got to go further than that. Oh, yeah. Better. I just rotated that one up out of the way while I got this one down where it belongs. And you can see there, the pin was actually staying up about that far. Was able to push it all the way down. Now that fits. Yeah, that'll be okay. Nobody's ever going to actually touch up there, so it's not going to be a problem that it's not glued. So now this last one here goes on top of the wall, and it sticks in towards the inside. There are no pins, just the screws are going to hold it in. And these are the chromed AP screws that I just put in here. Just need 3 of them. It lines up really easily, but getting a screw through might be iffy because, you know, just not having that third hand.
You need a Cisco.
Huh? Pardon?
You need a Cisco.
Yes. And actually, that was not too bad to get in the first one. Be nice if the screw would stay on there. Let's do the middle one for next. And that should make the last one go in really easy. I think everybody should have a Cisco when they're screwed.
I agree.
Oh, and just to let everybody know, Steve at Cult TV Man is an awesome guy. I ordered my Galileo with the internals and the crew and everything else. I got here today. I didn't read the box before I opened it, and then I called Steve up and I said, dude, this is just the internal parts pack. There's no shuttle. He looked up my order. He's like, okay, let me send you one. And then I told him, you know, just to let you know, I'm not sure how you want to work this because I opened it. And he's like, that's my problem to deal with. So he is sending me the correct model and not holding me up because I opened the incorrect model. I really think that's awesome of him.
Customer service is key, my friend.
Oh, yeah. And he, you know, as soon as I called him, he immediately looked it up on the computer. I gave him the order number. He's like, you know, I told him what I got, and he's like, okay, I'll take care of it. He said it might be a couple of days. I'm like, that's not a big deal. I've always had good experiences with stuff from him. I looked on ScaleMates, and unfortunately, the original Galileo shuttle from the original release is 136th versus 132nd. If it would fit in the original release, I'd have just told him, you know, let me pay you for the internal parts. Okay, so sorry, didn't show them before, but 4 screws, 4 lugs, 4 tabs, and now got the front of the bus, upper deck, and a dog hair. That's always nice. And like I said, this has fallen out. It says to be careful about the grab pole here because it can be snapped off really easily. So let me put this back in here. And grab a piece of tape to hold it there. That is pack 74. Pack 75. I think it was Dave building this. And I was like, this is so cool. I haven't caught a video to see if this is actually motorized, but I'm sure it is. Because this is the route labels. What do they call it on here? 75E. They call it the blind. But this rolls up and shows where the bus is going, what the next stops are, or what route it's on.
Okay, that is cool. The destination blinds.
Pardon?
Destination blinds. That's what you keep calling them.
Well, and the cool part is, look at that thing.
Oh my God.
That's cool. So let me double check which end gets attached first. Okay, Dalston's garage goes on first, so let me roll it up. And it's a rubberized plastic is what it feels like.
Like it's printed on like a vinyl sheet?
Yeah. Really thin though. You can see, I don't know if it's backlit or not, but if it was, you would be able to see it really well.
Isn't that what the it is going to be backlit? Because remember those white panels, those square panels you had that we were trying to figure out if they were EL or not? Those go behind that, I bet.
Well, I would think so, except for the one big one that I would think would go under here. Only by human power. Oh. But wow, I turned off the comments. But what was I going to say? It looks, you would think that, but the big white panel is on the back of the bus. This goes on the front.
Oh, maybe there's another one. I don't know.
So let me see. MM screws. I lied to myself. There are more metal screws going in the metal this time.
Dave says it's not motorized, but only by human power, but by your finger through the front flap under the destination at the front. So you have to crank it yourself, but it still cranks. Yeah. That's cool.
Oh yeah. My wife has got sourdough sitting in here because it's warmer down here than anywhere else in the house. So she just snuck in to look and see how that sourdough is doing.
She came in to check on her bread?
Not the bread, the dough. Yep.
Well, it's basically pre-bread.
Yes.
Dave says, be careful not to get any grease on it, as grease will destroy it, and also any blind scratches. It's easy to use the soft So you use a soft surface to build it on.
Which is going to make my wife unhappy because she's using my blue towel to cover her sourdough, the dough.
Yeah, I can see grease. If that's thermally printed, grease will wipe it off.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever touched a thermal receipt, like when you get at the restaurant and get a receipt, you touch it with greasy fingers and it just destroys the ink, you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that I'm not putting any oil on the screws for this one. So just found some LM screws. And that's why Dave said not to get any grease on it, because it feels like it, but I don't think it's coming through the bag. Because here are the cogs. Focus. There we go. So Dave is leaving for 10 minutes so that he can't be blamed for my errors.
He's running away like Eric.
Yep. And I just happen to have, they're not Lysol wipes, but they are moistened wipes that, you know, we did pick up some stuff during the pandemic. And I have a case and a half of those things. But I use them to wipe things down. But that way, if I got any grease from the bag on my fingers, I won't transfer it to the blind. So actually, are these identical? They are identical, and they both have a black stripe on them. And that's where you line up the blind. So step one is get grease all over your fingers from one of these cogs.
Just you know, scratch your face, rub your nose, get some of that face grease in there.
Yeah. Go eat some bacon.
If you have bacon, you better be sharing it with all the other kids.
Unfortunately, no bacon. But my wife is making goulash.
I like goulash.
So do we. That's why I'm the size I am, is because my wife cooks really well and I really like it. And I'm taking extra care not to touch that cog right now. Like I said, I'm not going to oil these screws either. What was funny was it was Wayne that I watched build this. After he got it done, he was sitting. He rubbed his, or while he was building it, he rubbed his fingers up in the grease and everything on the parts, and then he grabbed the blind and put it on. I don't know if he damaged it or not. It looked okay when he got done. This will go in here, and it's got, each of these has a square point on the bottom end of it and the screw hole. So this will go in here like that. Very clever. Okay. Oh, you noticed it was a little bit messy? That's not good.
Did he mess up his blind? I didn't watch that one.
I don't know, that Gilly just said that he noticed it was a little messed up. Okay, so I got lucky because there are two different types of cogs. Let's see if I can get it to focus. You got the regular ones, and then you got ones like this. You got two like this that have, I don't know if you can see the square hole in there. That square hole will sit on that square peg.
Gilly says he used his fingers. Yeah, I would definitely not be touching anything that's greasy.
Yeah. Well, you notice I'm using the tweezers. I'm doing my best not to touch any of this stuff, any of the wheels. And that gets held in by a dork. I got excited. This doesn't go on yet. I got ahead of myself. Need one of the ones that does not have the square hole. It just has a round hole on the peg above it first. And I just sat my finger on that cog. And again, we'll worry about putting that back in a minute. That goes on there with, there we go, another LM screw, which are over here, which I've got them sitting right there actually. Come on, get on there. There we go. Okay, now I can put this back in here. And fight with this one again to get it back on there. You see, it's got to mesh with the other two, and I only had the one on there at the time. And that one goes on with an MM screw instead. Should only need two of those. What's funny is when I was vacuuming the floor beneath the bench, I vacuumed up a couple of small screws, ones that got lost and I didn't go after because I knew I had spares.
Well, it's not like these things don't come with a ton of spares, you know.
Yeah. That would be Tyson. I don't know if you heard him.
I did.
That is tightened down, and you can see. Come on, focus. Oh, when the bar rolls, so the gears. One more gear. One more of the regular gears without the hole for the square peg. Go up here. Oh, it goes up here the opposite direction. That one again goes on with an LM. There's a big blob of grease on it, but I'm not too concerned. I'm not planning on getting the blind on it. And that blob of grease will rotate around the other cogs. I'm just running it back and forth to get the grease moving across the other ones. Okay. Need that one, don't need that one. Okay, so it's got sitting here like this. Just making sure I don't have any grease on my fingers. Where did the paper go? All right, time for a drink.
Yeah, that was some work.
Well, making sure that that's dead on here. Making sure it's dead lined up on there is going to be interesting. So I've had this over here, so not trying to get out of the frame, but I'm trying to keep from laying this in the grease at all. So gently, ever so gently, take the 3M tape and off. It's actually pretty nice because the end of the tape is clear. That's not in the right spot. It was close, but it was too close to the outer edge. Damn dog hair. Whatever you do, don't ever get a samoyed. They're made of solid hair. Come on. That's pretty good, and I got a gap on either side. The problem was I was butting the blind was butting up against the edge of the frame here. I didn't want to have that happen. So it says when you're happy with it, stick it down, and then take your screwdriver and roll it on. After you get rid of the dog hair. You'll notice I have my thumb on it because I'm trying to keep a little bit of tension on it.
Gilly says agreed. Time for a drink. Need a drink to do this stuff. I don't know if you can scoot to the right a little bit. There you go.
Ah, crap. Okay. I let go and it uncoiled just a hair. I'm watching it, trying to make sure it keeps centered because it is drifting a little bit left and right. I'm pretty sure that once it's on there, it won't be that bad, even if it is just a hair off. It's coming a little bit too far towards me. You okay, Todd?
Yeah, I just went to pick up my phone and threw it down on the desk instead.
Ah, okay. Okay. And I just, it's grease. I do appreciate Dave for giving me that warning because I don't see anything in the directions that say that. Okay, so it takes this one. Well, isn't that? All right. Rock steady, baby. I rolled it up inside of here. Well, it was supposed to be sticking out here so that I can actually do this. Wrap it around the outside. And do the same thing I just did on the other side, on the first one, over here with the line and the tape. You double check. Tape it down. Come on. Yeah, that's not good. It was starting to peel the tape up instead. Turn this around to where I can look at it. Straighten this back out. And the slack doesn't matter that much right now. God bless this is sticky. The slack doesn't matter that much because as soon as I get it down, I will be pulling that slack out before I put the screw on. So now I'll roll it back up. It says leave a very slight amount of slack, although I am going to roll this far enough to where the tape is not going to catch on something. Just stuck my thumb on there. I'm holding both of them. Put it on. The last cog on. This is where I need a Cisco, because I have to keep a hold of this thing to keep it snug while I'm trying to get this cog out, and then I'm going to have to put a screw into it, and I only have one hand to work with. Come on. Damn it. Come on. Gah! I got that screw a little bit started. So now I can hold this with my thumb. Let me grab it here. You know, maybe. Crud, that's a bunch of slack. I don't think it's caught the cog teeth yet. No, it has, but it's cocked. It's off kilter to where it's not letting it turn.
Christine dropped in. She says it's looking good.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's off. So I'm going to have to grab it with my fingers to get it to go straight. There we go. Damn it. Try this. Fortunately, that was on a black area. Just making sure. It is a little bit loose. I don't think it's going to matter that much. I don't like how loose it is, though. And it doesn't help that the cog is not completely down on there. Come on, just go in there like you're meant to. You know what? I need to drill that hole out a little bit with the screw because it's not playing nice. Something I might have thought about before I taped it down. Hang on. Just because. It keeps going off kilter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the square peg, if I can, and tighten that screw down in there because it keeps cross threading. Oh, I pushed it all the way out the other side. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Don't watch, Todd. It's not going to be pretty. I'm going to grab this other end with the needle nose pliers.
Oh boy.
See, the problem is that should be enough. The screw was not going all the way down to where it would engage the. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Engage the cog. I got it far enough down because it doesn't want to come out now. Just let go. Okay. Like I said before, fortunately, the only place I'm doing any bad to this is in the black. Just let me snug this up again. You can see I wrinkled it a little bit there. Right there. Come on, fit down on there. Hindsight being 2020, if I ever do another one of these, I will tighten the screws up or put the screw holes in first before I put any of the parts together. But slight wrinkle there on the Hammersmith Fulham Chelsea Victoria Bank, and I stuck my thumb immediately in there. A little bit of a crease right there, but the rest of it's pretty good. We'll just have to run it up one.
That looks good. Well, a little off camera, a little south of the camera, but
yeah, I understand that. I mean, you heard me grunting and groaning and not really getting to the point of swearing, but I was close. Did I miss something? Hang on. I got so excited about putting this together that I think I missed. I did. I skipped an entire step after putting the after putting this on. After putting the Windows portion on, I forgot to attach that wall to the top deck of the bus. It was touch and go there for a minute, though. But with the blind.
Dave said, "Looks good, mate. Darn fiddle to do. Thumbs up."
Thanks, Dave. That you don't know how much that means from somebody like you who've done a couple of these.
It definitely looked like one of the more trickier parts of the assembly.
It is. It was very tricky. Wait a minute. Let me see. Well, there you go. This just sits in pins. So it wasn't a big deal that I missed it. Apologize that I'm off camera, but kind of the only way I can get to it. Oh. And to put this part down, I was very hesitant to push down here, but that's where I had to push to get it on there. So now let me bring this back over. Slide this a bit back. Hit that camera. Let me see if I can put a little bit more light on the situation. Echo, turn on patio lights. Echo, turn on patio lights. Better. I can turn that. Nope, not that one. I only turn on 3 of these light panels at a time because I have had the power supply shut off. USB power supply. It's got 8 USB plugs, but it can't handle 8 USB plugs worth of power at one time. Okay, so that goes on with 4 JP screws. And there's, of course, it would help if I was on the right camera, huh? There's 4 lugs on here that hold it in place. Now I'll go back to this camera because I forgot I was on that camera. It's a little tricky to get this to go where it's supposed to go, because there's no real good place to hold on to it. I'll lift this up a little bit because I think that's my problem. That, and let me work on the one on the side that I'm on instead. What would really suck is if I found out that I put the roller on backwards. Urgh. Get one screw started and they all fall into place. Oh. It's your home, screw. Go home. Sorry. Sorry if I get my head in the way. I gotta at least get far enough over there to where I can see the hole to put the screw into. That one's good. Good. This one on the lower right was actually getting to where I couldn't get the screwdriver in there because of the wide head on it. You know, in actuality, that's looser than I'd like, but it looks realistic. So I remember when I was a kid.
It wouldn't surprise me the real bus is not super tight either.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Is when I was a kid taking city buses, when those things would rotate, they would flap pretty good.
Gilly's laughing at you, and he says, "Part works with the devil, Bobby."
They are. Why are an alligator so angry, right? It's got all them teeth. I'm half tempted just because I looked up and saw the picture. Todd, just say no. Tell me not to.
Oh, do it. Do it. Put the front panel over so we know what it looks like. Yeah, my guess is that's not going to be lit since you didn't mount a light behind it.
Yeah,
right?
It could, actually. But that's a bit of a gap there.
But will it squish flat when it's behind the body panel?
I don't know. But I do know that this screw goes a lot easier than it was when I was fighting with it before. So now that it's in place, it's this one I want.
Gilly's laughing more. Water boy.
Yep. Stay on there. What the hell? Oh, you know what's happening? Okay, time to move stuff again.
What happened?
It's not engaging the top cog.
Oh, misaligned or something?
It pops. It's off a little bit. Hang on. Yeah, you can still see. You can't see what I'm doing, but you can still see. When I've started rotating it, the top cog was not rotating. Get on there. Every time I turn it, it loosens.
Did it get grease into the screw holes? Is that what happened? Into the threads?
Uh-uh. I want to push it a little bit further back, but it's all the way against the wall. That might be part of the problem there too. I just tightened the bottom one up a little bit. Come on. Stay there now. Yeah, I ended up tightening up the first one a little bit more. I think that might have been part of the problem. Unreal. As soon as I start to rotate it, it just pops out that. Okay. If it doesn't work right and lay flat, I'll figure something out later. Yeah, I sit at the back of the bus. Gilly, you fall out of the top of this bus. Okay, driver's cab details. So this can move. I'm probably being too picky with that, but that's how I am. Oh, it's my old pal EM Screw. Haven't seen him in a while. A lot of little bitty bits here. Come on. Got some tape, so we're going to be messing with some wires. Got the top of the driver's cab.
Dave says you can always revisit that stage, but he reckons it'll be okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is I've played with it several times, and it keeps going back to the same thing. Got a couple pipes here. DP, EM, MP, FM, VP screws. I'm trying to figure out what this says. Oh. Maybe. Will it focus? No, it's not going to focus enough. It actually is cut out, and you can read stop on there. So DP. That's funny. I got IP, I got JP, I got LP. No KP. So KP is going out of order. FM and EM. I got BP and MP. So these can all go in here. Start with putting away screws. It's just my habit.
Gordon's asking, what issue are you up to, Buck?
This is, I'm starting on stage 76. I have all 12 packs. So if you were getting it, this would be month 8, I believe. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting to find out what's coming out from Agora this year, because since I have all of them, I can start. Since I have the entire model, I can start another part work from Agora. If they have, unless I change my mind and go after one or two from Fan Home at one time. Right now, I'm thinking the Bismarck, but that depends on what Agora releases in the next month. It was based on my prior experience. Let's see. Yeah, I need that for MP. Based on my prior experience, when I finished the Terminator, it took a month before they sent me the code for the next level. So that I got my first pack of the Routemaster for free. Some parts supplied will be used following stage. Store them carefully until they are needed. Okay. Take the cover. 76. And like I said, there's a bunch of little bits and bobs here. Little crank. This should be the cover. Yeah, that's the cover. And it goes nice black on black. Rose's M1 Yamaha. It goes here. There's a lug for the screw hole, or there's a indentation for the lug for the screw hole and the hole for the pin. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Gordon, you can't afford them until you buy your first one, and then it's like crack cocaine, man. You just can't stop. Ask Todd.
Yeah.
So that's the part that I'm putting on right now. Todd was at one point doing like 18 of these things. But they're well worth it in the end. Now, the one that I really, really want to get back to work on is my Ecto. Really sad that that one stopped. So here, this must be the cog.
Don't worry, Buck. They'll be back.
I know. I'm still sad.
Well, you can be
So
sad.
this cog and this pin. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. Yeah, you can see the rounded area there. It's where the cog will fit, and the cog is actually metal. I believe the pin is plastic. I was going to say I think it's metal, but when I see that it's a P screw that is going into it, that tells me it's plastic. That's interesting. It does push all the way through. Okay. It didn't feel like it was going to push all the way through. It's just really snug when it pushes through. So that goes in there like that. Got the pin in the cog there. And turn it over. And there's 2 KP screws, so 1 spare. Watch that be the only KP screw in the whole thing. So go in there like so. And that, I believe, is what Dave was saying earlier, is how you turn the sign. Take the indicator 76H and put it into the control box. (76G). You know what? Let me get my white tile because it's slippery, and that way I can have the parts slide off and disappear forever. And maybe the camera will actually focus on it. This is very difficult when you can't even see where you're at. And it's not bright enough. Take my word for it, though. It says stop on there. Almost dropped the tile that I keep in here for photo etch on the tile floor, which would have been really ugly because I'm sure it would have shattered.
Gilly says maybe the Peterbilt is coming out. Well, they are testing it in France. We'll see.
That would be really cool. But since
feel that,
in France
sure.
it's only a test, I don't expect it. And Todd won't tell us.
What do you mean I won't tell you?
He won't tell us.
You'll find out the new Agora model this week. Not too long.
Yep. But it's so long. I mean, it's at least 3 or 4 more days.
Oh no. I hope it is worth it.
I hope so too.
Are you going to are you done with Partworks, or if something came out you like, you get another one?
Oh, I'm going to continue. Like I said, like I was saying a few minutes ago, I'm just curious what's coming, because I'm more than happy to hold off on the Bismarck still, because the Bismarck is in the running, as is the fan home charger and the fan home kit.
Charger's not a bad build.
Well, the problem with the charger, I agree with my wife. The problem with the charger is it's just a car. And I know kit is just a car with TV screens.
Yeah, it's tough because, I'm Ian thinks the same way. It's I would get something that's iconic, right? I get it's a Fast and Furious charger from the movie, but it's also just a 70 charger, right? It's just a car anybody, you and me, could and could just get. The Ecto 1 was unique. The DeLorean was unique,
Yeah.
And it had there's this whole story, like the car. That's one of a kind, right? I mean, obviously they made more than one, but it's one of a kind. And the 70s Charger with a blower sticking out the hood is a 70s Charger with a blower sticking out the hood.
Exactly.
I mean, of course, I also built the 300 SL and the GTR and the DB5, but DB5's iconic for James Bond. The Nissan GTR, I guess, could be part of Fast and Furious, but I really built it just to get the engine at the end. And the Dodge Charger I was building because my ex liked Fast and Furious. So.
Well, we have liked all the Fast and Furious movies. But the Charger really isn't, like the Ecto becomes a character.
Yes.
The DeLorean becomes a character. The Charger is a bit character at best.
Yes.
So got a couple of pipes here. One's longer, one's shorter. The shorter one goes on the top pin here. The stop is actually upside down on here. The shorter one goes onto this pin, on that pin right there. And then there's another pin in the back of that the longer one goes into. Kind of like, come on. These black on black parts are always so cool. Not finding it. Problem is, like most pins are rounded, that one is not.
Gilly says that a Dale Earnhardt number 3 NASCAR would be sweet. Actually, if they built just one that was any color, and then you could buy decal sets. You know,
Yeah.
they built but they keep changing. The NASCAR is on what, the 8th gen or something like that. The Cup car, it's like on the 8th different series. What happens when they change it again in 2 years? You know. But if they made one specific for Dale Earnhardt, like a Daytona winning car or something like that, that'd be kind of cool. And Gordon says the Ford Escorts Mexico from Fast and the Furious would be a good one too.
You know what would make me ecstatic is if somebody would do the Batmobile that Eagle Moss was supposed to do. I really, really want that Batmobile. Okay, so this goes in here. Let me rotate it like that. Pin in the screw. So there's a pin there. There's a screw hole next to it. Goes in here. Goes the other way around so that the I'm not putting this part in the back. And then there's a lug on top of here with a key. It goes, so it'll go on here like that. No, like I said, black on black. You can't really see it. And then 2 DP screws.
Gilly says it'd be a Dale car, and the winning car would be sweet. A lot of people will buy that and do that. Not as many as you think. I mean, there's a lot of NASCAR fans, but they're basically all in the U.S., and the U.S. is definitely not the biggest part work market.
No, by far. I figured that was going to fall off there.
That's what surprises me, that they're doing a Peterbilt. Like, I just can't see the Peterbilt succeeding in a test in France.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
a Scania or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if BJ and the Bear was ever big over there, but something like that might do better than just a regular Peterbilt. I don't even know what kind of truck he drove.
Gilly says half the USA is NASCAR, but be good for commissions work. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I got the 2 wires here, or 2 hoses, wires, whatever you want to call them. This part I just installed along with this part right here.
A little low. There you go. That's better.
Still doesn't focus very well. And then this little bracket holds those hoses down so they're not going all over the place like they are right now. 2 EM screws. Hey, more metal. Need to use oil. Didn't want to use oil earlier. Might have helped a little bit. Might have messed things up really bad. It's funny how straight and flat their hoses are. It's almost like my hoses are too long. Oh. I always end up talking to my parts.
Who else is going to talk to him?
Yeah, true. Well, the funny thing is, Todd, I do it when I'm not in a stream too.
Gilly says, but no, they made a fire truck and a bus. But they made a UK bus. And the fire truck, interestingly enough, was originally to celebrate the Italian fire department. And it was the Vigliali something del Fuego. And all the magazines contained different stories about the Italian fire department where that original fire truck was released back in 2008 by D'Agostini. So basically, this is, I don't think it sold that well, but they did it. And then I think Agora got the rights to re-release it here in the States, which is why you don't see any magazines with that kit. It's all special instructions that they put together themselves.
Okay. Those came out a little bit better.
Center that up, it'll focus. There you go.
Yeah. A little bit better than they were looking before. Because before I got those two screws in there, we're just all over the place. So we got the winder socket and a handle. Okay, yeah, I see what that is. This is the winder socket. It's got a keyway on it. The handle goes in there. This is the pretend way that you would change the routing on the bus.
Gilly says, so they made what they wanted, not what people want. Well, it all depends on somebody in marketing decides this will sell or this don't. I think that's why they do the tests. So
yeah,
I see how it works. Yep. Dave says, iconic vehicles over here would have been the Mini Cooper, the Bedford OB Duplicouche, 1949. The London RT bus was one before the Routemaster, or Morris Minor. But they do have there's a lot of Japanese part work, like car part works, like Datsuns and little Nissans and a lot of little Fords. And there's a lot of part works. It's just, where do they get released,
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now, they'll never do one. But I think I told you this over the weekend on Discord. I would do a Datsun B210 in a heartbeat. It was a little, it's supposed to be a Econobox car when the gas crunch hit. But that thing had the heart of a lion. I loved my B210. Come on, get in there. There we go. And this crank, hard for it to focus on black. So this little crank here can actually be turned. See, you can see my fingernail behind it, and then I moved it over here. I'm just going to leave it straight back. Eventually, it's, once this is on the cab, never going to be able to reach it. Fit 2 pegs of the lamp housing into the corresponding sockets right here. There is going to be, that lamp is for the cab. 2 more DP screws. That's right, it wasn't DP EM screws, it was DPs that were just really abundant in this build. That one started. this one all the way down, as well as this one. Okay.
Dave says he reckons that smoking the Bandit car and wagon would go well in the dual car and wagon. So this is the thing. They also have to consider their audience. And I think Smoking the Bandit is a good choice because it's a lot of these cars from the 70s and 80s, because you got to think the part work audience is men, 40 plus. So that's why you see a lot of these older cars, but it doesn't. I could see that connecting, but they seem to have a hard time doing stuff that's in the U.S. and then it doesn't get released here. They do the Ecto, which is a U.S. movie, and it starts over there, and then it eventually makes it to the U.S. This is weird.
Well, the Smokey and the Bandit, and actually the Knight Rider was extremely popular in Germany, which is why David Hasselhoff disappeared from the States and went and had a really good career in Germany. So since they start in Europe, who knows where we're going to end up with them. But I'm not going to start the next pack because I have pre-read. And this, while there are very few parts here, this involves pulling cables and running cables and hooking things together and just all kinds of madness.
You're going to save that for next week?
Yeah. Wanted it so bad by the time. Yeah, I'm going to save this for next week. Next week is, by the end of the next stream, I will probably end up with the second floor sitting next to the bus with the roof from the first floor sitting down next to it. But yeah, there were 3 extra parts in there, plus the tape here. So we've got driver's cab, the roof of the driver's cab done pretty much. Got the start of the back of the second floor. Got the destination blind, which was the bane of my existence tonight. Matter of fact, this should fit. I always like to do this, sit here and figure out where something should go. Probably I don't see where that pin would go. Probably somewhere like this, and of course it's out of frame by a long ways. Somewhere back here like this. And this will actually go, I just glanced through the instructions. This will end up underneath here on top of the driver. I almost did a bad thing.
What'd you do?
I almost sat this down this way, which that little flag would bend or break. Can almost read it. So let me set that there. Grab this. Hit this magic button. You notice, Todd, I now have shortcut keys on my keyboard for my cameras.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
You're moving on up.
Yep. It was funny because I actually typed something after I set up OBS, and I looked back, wasn't streaming yet, and I'm like, oh yeah, because having done starting out as a cashier and then having done resource advisor, being basically an accountant for the last 20 years, I use the numpad for everything. So putting shortcut keys over there does not keep me from using them.
Yep, that's what I did. I mean, all of my cameras are just that num1, num2, num3, num4, 0, whatever.
Yeah.
It's handy.
Oh. And I'm not sure where. Oh, here it is. Mine's not rechargeable like yours is, but I don't use it.
It'll probably last forever with a couple batteries in it.
Yeah. So appreciate you guys coming by. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm enjoying this bus. I've said it before. I'll say it again. This is probably the best part work I've ever done. Looking forward to seeing what Agora is coming out with this month. If you haven't heard, what is it? IPX is it? Is that what they are, Todd?
What's that?
Coming out.
Oh, IXO.
IXO is coming out with the Eleanor again from Eagle Moss. So we're starting to get the Eagle Moss products back. Good night, Chris. Thanks for stopping by. So everybody take care of yourselves. Like and subscribe. Have a great evening. Have a great day tomorrow. Those of you in the United Kingdom, I really appreciate you stopping by. I know it's the middle of the night for you over there. I stream as early as I can. I get off work at 3:30. I stream at 5 o'clock my time. So talk to you next time. And don't forget to stop in on either Friday evening or Sunday afternoon, and maybe Friday afternoon when Todd may fly something again. Have a great evening. Have a great day tomorrow. And we will talk to you next time.